Ah, peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy the King, coming from my gaming room. Right? Never really be up here, to stream, but let me get you that intro, bro, because you need that in your life.
Here on the bridge. What's the matter with King? Instead of saying advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's the matter with King? Instead of saying advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Here on the bridge. What's the matter with King? Instead of saying advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's the matter with King? Instead of saying advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted.
Welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy the King. Now I know y'all saying like, where the hell is he coming from right now? Because he damn sure not downstairs in his media room. Well, I've been telling y'all for a minute that I was gonna come live from my other room. Now, if you're hearing that Nintendo stuff in the background, that's because my Nintendo is playing right now. That's what's that, Kirby right now. So, and then over on this side, you see the mini arcade that's right there where I play a ton of my games. So, yeah. So shout out to Omen, definitely the sponsor of today's show. With the Omen 16 Max, could take you anywhere around the world. You see me go to Japan and back with the Omen 16 Max. And also, we have the HyperX right now. So again, I hope y'all liking everything. We're going to get into these topics today. It's one huge topic, right? Blessings, peace and blessings to everyone, bro. Um, you're kind of right on that, King, about Netflix purchasing WB, but you kind of wrong. There's a lot of different things that's going on, and we got to talk about it. We got to talk about crucial memory is really crucial now because it's not for the consumers in the sense that right now they're actively pursuing the big bucks. Y'all seen what happened recently? Yo, I want y'all to check out my Doom coin. I So I'm gonna start giving back the packages. Remember before when I was giving out packages to members? Well, package giveaway is back, and with that, you know, we have the mail, the coin, and stuff like this. This is probably the best detail coin that I have. The Doom coin. See that? Doom is on this side, and then on the other side is the shield. This joint is heavy as hell. Oh, well, this is not a new setup. This is just my other room. All right, so y'all see the Iron Man in the background, and you see everybody says I never championed DC. Well, if you look up there, I got the Holy Trinity plus one up there. I got Aquaman up there, but if you look a little bit closer, you see I got Black Adam and I got Shazam. Now on this side, I have Anubis, I have Horus. Uh, I'll show you that. You see Anubis, you see Horus right there. If you look up at the top, you see Thundercats, you see the Thing, you see Thor, you see the Hulk. It's just a ton of statues, boy. So and a lot of times y'all only see that one room. That one room that you see that's the media room downstairs. This is the media room upstairs. So right here, is the laptop, but it's the PC. This PC, there's something wrong with my video output, so I have to go take that and go get that checked. And then there's a huge monitor right here. Then Master Chief is all over the place. Of course, there's some Xbox signage all over the place. You know, it's a ton of Xbox stuff. So, got to give a shout out to Ben. Also, I want to say rest in peace to his pops that passed. Uh, Somebody, just reach out to him because Ben is definitely that dude. Um, so I'm gonna put this back here. Oh, sorry, something that popped up. Okay. Also, I have the Avowed coin. This is the Avowed coin. If you can see that, really good. Look at that. This coin is ridiculous, bro. Look at that. I'm telling you right now, Ben does some of the best work that we got out here. And, he's part of the extended Iron Lords family. Now, a lot of stuff you're going to see me reading off of my phone. Don't never usually do that. I usually have a dual monitor set up. Didn't have enough time to do that. Had to update this PC. I mean, well, a laptop and stuff like that, and do all that stuff. Got multiple mics all over the place. It's crazy, right? But also have the HyperX Cloud 3s. Oh my God. Shout out to Omen and HP HyperX. You guys definitely do it up. But a lot of times you're going to see me broadcast from this room. Now, what makes this room so significant, and let me show you, is because this is my comic book room. This is my getaway room that I go to when I'm feeling nostalgic, when I want to play my old school games like my Neo Geo, my Genesis, Turbo Graphics, Super Nintendo, and regular Nintendo. That's there. Wii U's downstairs. I gotta bring that Wii U upstairs because all the Wii U games is right here. It makes no sense for the Wii U to be downstairs, and I gotta be traveling back and forth to bring up games. All right, but this is my comic book room. So see a bunch of comic books. Well, this is my Thunderbolts. Uh, my Thunderbolts stack. Right. So if you can see it, I know there's a lot of glare. Got every Thunderbolts book that was made. So when they came out with the Thunderbolts movie, you know, I was first and foremost in line. Didn't necessarily care for the cast as much when it comes to the Thunderbolts, but I know Marvel has to do with what they have. You know, I love that we got the Sentry in the movie. That was a good look. Um, I love that the new Black Widow is coming into her own. Yeah, don't worry. I'll fix that glare next time. I see the light coming in. So this is it's strange doing it from this room. But so memory being what it is. Remember when I told y'all that the PlayStation 6 is in doubt? And what I told y'all, I said this was based upon the facts of we are not going to be stagnant, right? In the industry, you know what? I should just, let me fix that. Let y'all see the rest of the stuff while I fix this. So give me a second. Give me a second, because this shit is irritating me. Now let's see if that's better. Yeah, it's better. Still get a little bit of light. That's old school blinds. Now, remember when I said that the memory was definitely a problem? Well, it's definitely a problem based on next generation consoles prices. Now, the reason why I think that Microsoft is in a better position is based off of their releasing soon. Their console will be hitting soon. Where PlayStation is looking at 2029, 2028, late 2028, early 2029. And being that they're doing this whole region lock stuff, you never truly understand if they're going to launch it in Japan on region lock first. And then let me see. Who's that? Oh, Punch Out. I love Punch Out. Um, or do a simultaneous release across the world. I don't think they do a simultaneous release across the world. So you have to factor that in the equation. But memory being what it is only going to get worse. And this is from a global, it's not a shortage. All right. There's enough RAM. But what's happening is there is an AI war. The AI war is predicated on how much memory is utilized for the coming AI fight between China, Russia, United States, the major powers, right? But then there's a whole bunch of little powers that's out there working. You have companies that have as much money as countries. Shout out to OpenAI. With OpenAI doing what they're doing as far as getting as much allocations of RAM, and the manufacturer of Crucial decided to just only deal with corporate entities and no longer consumer. I mean, listen, I don't know how many times have y'all went out and brought Crucial Memory, but Crucial Memory is like the go-to memory, right? And listen, I'm not a tweaker and twerker. So, and I understand it from that aspect that that was the go-to. Now, if they're no longer a supplier to us, that means you're taking one of those crucial pieces off the board and placing that in the hands of making nothing but corporate money. You have to factor in governments. I think, and this will only help alleviate the RAM issue, but we're going to have, if you think this is a RAM issue now, we're going to have a serious issue with energy crisis is going to go straight through the roof. And then going to start looking at alternatives means of gaining energy that is less. The words I got to use is very, very poignant. It's the energy that's going to be used is going to be less safe, for a lack of a better word, right? It's going to be highly volatile. And I believe that we've done this cycle enough times. And this is just the reiteration of this cycle. Trying to get to what robotics is doing now and using the memory for the robotics that is also happening. There's many different things that's happening at one time. We're just in the mix of it. As far as gamers go, we're kind of messed up in the mix of that. So I don't think that consoles is ever going to go back down in price, honestly. And I don't think that Sony's in a position of making $1,000 machine. I think Xbox is in a position of putting out a machine that is upwards of, remember I said 14.99. I believe that it's going to cost that price because I don't believe that Xbox is going to make their own console. I think they're going to OEM it. I think they're going to buy the chiplets, and I do believe they're going to buy like 50 million chiplets from AMD and then take those chiplets to distribute it across all of their distributors of the new machine. Knowing that I know that they just What is it? Funcom. They just commissioned Funcom to produce 4.8 million more. Okay, y'all got to understand, it's 4.8 million more units per year that they're commissioning them for. So if you look at the contract that they had before, the contract that they had before called for 6 million units produced in a calendar year. Now we're looking at 10.8 million units Xbox consoles being produced in a calendar year. If that is to be this, oh, what up, Spectre? Oh man, yo, you back on Fortnite, Spectre? I'm well. I hope you're well. Who that? Who? Karen Soft. Concept RAM is the go-to for the normal use and get skills. Okay, that's what's up. Sarah Bond said, explicitly first party. Bro, they mince words. All right? They mince words. And I want you to notice and see, a lot of you guys think that, okay, well, King is not going to say anything negative towards Xbox or talk about anything realistic towards Xbox. That's a misnomer. Oh, by the way, I want you, one of you members is going to get this Wu Chang Fallen Feathers sticker. I already got it. I already put one on my table. All right, so I have a controller table right here. And hold on, let me see if I can let y'all see the controller table. All right, the controller table is right there, right? So that's the table that I have for all my controllers. Like for the consoles, all the controllers is on the table. You just pick up a controller and play, right? And then there's extra controllers there for the two-player mode, like if we're gonna do two-player mode. And so on that table, I had two stickers, and I got the Wu Chang, but I said I was gonna keep one of these for members. I also have a Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering card. I know who wants this, and I'm going to get this to him because he's a true Magic the Gathering fan. I do have a ton of Magic the Gathering decks that I haven't opened, right? Have these. And I'm figuring out how to get these to members, as we go on with this stuff. I have tons of them. All right. Remember, I'm really cool with the Magic the Gathering team, and they gave me a ton of stuff, and they they even gave me. I have a wonderful mouse pad, a really nice mouse pad, and they said if I need anything more, and I said I'm going to be doing giveaways and stuff like that. So I'm just establishing myself on other things and how to get these stuff to you guys because I wanted, signature delivery to you guys. But as far as that memory and that stuff go in an inefficient energy crisis that we're going to hit right now, they're going to do a lot of strange stuff with the energy, and then you're going to see a spike in that. So now you're going to start thinking, putting out units that are, and I'm going to go to the point where you said this first party. I'm going to get to that part. They're going to start putting out units that have power saving modes. You see how PlayStation introduced a power saving mode to underclock power wise the PlayStation 5. That isn't by happenstance. You see with your Xbox ROG Ally X that it has a low power mode that you can play in the lowest power mode. That isn't just by happenstance. They understand that the energy crisis is going to hit ahead of time. So all the stuff that we take for granted, like you see how this TV is running right now, and I got the lights on, and then I got the other arcade machine running right there, and I got like 4 machines on right here. That shit ain't going to be going on no more. That's going to stop. All right? Because remember, not too long ago, your energy bill went through the roof. And remember when we never cared about the energy proficiency of consoles. I think the most inefficient energy machine that I had was the Neo Geo. I think that was a beast of a machine taking super amounts of energy, but we never really seen the hit to us as far as gamers go. Now, getting to this Sarah Bond thing that you said, Sarah Bond said first party stuff. I want you to tell me, what do they consider the Xbox ROG Ally X. I want you to think about that. Then I want you to think about when Phil said that they were still making a handheld. Do you really think they're still making a handheld? And I want you to be really honest with this. And if any of you guys seen The Lords After Dark, that's on the new app with Insider Gaming, you'll get to see a different side of the Lords, right? Because on Sundays, what we do, we talk for 4 or 5 hours. We have a lot of entertainment factor as far as funny and stuff like this goes. But that app is more of a serious tone, right? As far as really getting to what is really going on and less of the playing around, right? Because listen, on Sundays, what my job is for me, for you guys, is to bring the funny, bro. You had a hard week. You're setting up for another hard week. And my thing is to take your mind off of that for as long as possible, to bring as much funny as I possibly can to you guys. If it's capping for Xbox, if it's whatever it is, it's to bring joy into your soul for the coming week, because I understand how hard it is every day to get up and do the same exact thing while you're pushing to get ahead. I understand that, and I truly respect you guys for that stuff. So you giving me your time, I'm trying to give you as much funny as possible. All right, so let me see what it said. Yeah, I'm fine. Let me see. Sorry about you. These future prices make me want to give up gaming and start smoking crack. Hey, yo! MTG, fire in my early teens right there. That's what's up. Microsoft needs to figure out how to let me access my Series X remotely while in energy saver mode. I have to keep it on full power mode. Word? I never really knew about that. Oh, Karen, what is it? Oh, Kenneth Williams, my bad. Shout out, member for 11 months. I salute you, Soldier X rank. Okay, so talking about how they view hardware. Now, this is I'm going to give you how to get around that conversation. Remember when I told you that they're going to be selling the chiplets to the MSI? Can't say one of them until I actually have confirmation. Asus, and I'm going to leave it at that, right, for right now. Um, you want to see Steve King? Steve King. I want to see who's Steve King. What is Steve King? Make it make sense. I don't know. Those um those two, right? I'm gonna say those two. I'm not gonna say the other two. One I can't say until I know for facts. Oh, yeah. This is the upstairs room. This is the upstairs room. It's comic books and you know. Is this whole book, this whole thing about? Hold on, let me check and see. Oh nope, I thought this whole thing was Thunderbolts. It's mixed. I got some Hulk in here. Oh, I do have the Hulk in here, but I have some event. Okay, I have Haunted Hulk in here. All right, so I got some Hulk books in here. You can see that. Um, yes, I'm going to be doing comic book time from this room. We're going to get into everything that I said that we were going to get into. This is um, this is the room for that. All right. So when I decide to do comic book time and when I decide to start going into these books, because I don't backboard and whatchamacallit my books. I don't do that at all. These dudes put their books on slabs because in their head they feel that they're buying a commodity, that the bottom can fall out at any time. I brought statues thinking that they were going to be a visual piece that you could sell later on. Digital printing, 3D printing. threw this stuff out of the window because a consumer is always going to go for the cheapest option. Not saying that they anywhere close to these custom made Horus or Anubis statues or some of those Bowens that I got up there. I got to make sure that they get pushed in, or some of those sideshows back there. Not saying that they anywhere close. Downstairs is really where all my XM Studio statues are. But 3D printing for a lot of these people that buy statues or what they consider statues, these PVC stuff is great for them. You know, so if you got this and you're like, I'm happy with something that's like this, who am I to tell you anything otherwise, right? So no. But so them selling the CPUs to other people, they're OEM manufacturers. You got to think about it this way. They have distribution plants across the world, the partners that they will be working with. Those selling them, the chiplets that only they can get from Microsoft, makes that a first party machine. And they will tout it in that manner. They look at the Xbox ROG Ally X and the Xbox ROG Ally as homegrown machines. They are producing updates for that machine at a rapid pace that at least once a week, I have an update and I go into it and it makes it more efficient, it makes it better, and it makes it more like an Xbox. Then I'm using the Xbox full screen experience on my PC, and the updates they're pushing to it is pushing it to the point that it feels like an Xbox. And I know a lot of you dudes is going to be like, yo, King, that is absolute cap, because there's no way that those machines are like that. Yes, they are. Now, is it the same thing as turning on your Series X? Not yet. Is it damn close? Yes. And that's where the line starts to blur. When they started saying stuff like, don't need a console, play anywhere, everything's an Xbox. When they're using verbiage like that, that blurs the line from first party, first AAA, that us manufacture, that blurs the line. So I'm telling you, don't hold on to those words thinking that that's going to be the de facto. Do I want them to make a machine? What I want from them is the best damn product I can get. I really have to start looking at it in the sense of how I used to purchase my consoles. Akizi Boo Boo, my man AKW, the £2 super chat. I hope you're well, King. Blessings. I'm definitely well. Hell, what's funny is AKW hit me up before the show and was like, yo, you going live today? Because he knows I'm like live at 12 o'clock and or before then. And I was running late because my wife is a little under the weather, and I went and got her some food, and then I came up here and made sure that the setup was right. But then when I logged into the PC, it was an update and all this other stuff. So he was just making sure. And you need people that in your life that make sure that you good. He could have texted me. He didn't have to super chat. He could have texted me on my phone because me and him talk. But that's the level of support. You understand? Everybody, people know that your energy ain't free, your time ain't free, but that's the level of support, and I truly appreciate that. But getting back to what I believe that Microsoft is going to do, and we're going to get to the Netflix buys WB. We're going to get into the controversy with Paramount. We're going to get into people trying to block stuff. This is the ABK all over again. And I want you to understand that this is not going to be as easy as EA being purchased by the Saudis and them realizing that they ain't got all that money like that, and they need EA to shed a lot of that company and do a lot of rollover when it comes to that. And I told y'all, be very careful for that, because they pulled them off the NASDAQ, take these guys private, and they can do whatever the hell they want to do without really any regulatory practices behind it. We're looking at what Netflix is about to do and what the hell that means, and we're going to talk about that. But we're going to talk about Xbox, because you showed up to Xbox Frontline News to get the Xbox news. All right? We already talked about how I feel PlayStation is in a bad position, because their whole business model is based on them selling consoles and getting those consoles to individuals to make a killing. Shout out to AKW, the 2 pound super chat, bro. We are brothers, and I will always be there. Blessings, bro. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the level of support, and it's through the roof. All you guys, you guys show up to show out. I'm gonna be here. I'm come hella high water. I'm actually gonna apologize. I'm gonna fight. I'm going to fight for you guys. Yo, it's crazy. I got my Steam Deck, right? And I went and got this keyboard for my Steam Deck. And it got a little mouse pad. I got a little stand, a little everything. And what else I got back there? Oh, it came with the little mouse. The little mouse for my Steam Deck. And for a long time, I was hooking it up to the TV, accessing it that way, until I ultimately realized, after I got my Xbox ROG Ally X, that I stopped using my Steam Deck. And I started using my ROG way more. And it's based upon the same principles, I believe, that individuals will buy the Xbox over the Steam machine. Hold on, let me read some of the stuff in the chat. Warner Brothers turning recipes, my childhood shows. Oh my God. Where can you buy the Xbox Crocs controller, not the shoes? You can't. I think that Xbox Crocs controller only comes in a box. The same way that you got the 3D, what was it? The Meta Quest 3S, and it came with the Xbox controller. The only place where you can get that controller. I think that is the hook. So if you really want that controller, you can get it third party online. But I think that was part of a package that they were handing out to influencers. And that lets you know how close I am with Microsoft. Is sometimes it's hit or miss. I get an Xbox ROG Ally X. Hell yeah, I take that over some Crocs any day. At the same time, who was the dude that was out here wearing Crocs? Who's the dude standing with every exec wearing Crocs? Who's the dude talking to Aaron Greenberg while he's showing me new sneakers and I'm showing him new Crocs? Who's the one telling them that they need to link up with Crocs? Who's the one screaming? Me. So do I feel left out a little bit? Yeah, I kind of do. Wouldn't you? But at the same time, maybe I say offensive stuff. Like, I don't believe that y'all making a hardware. I do believe that you're going to see. You got to think in the mindset of somebody who's rich. Their time is money, right? And well, everybody's time is money. It's how you allocate that time for your money, right? So let's say that. But you're talking about trillion-dollar companies that need to farm out work and have other people do the work. So I believe that they're going to sell them the chiplets to get past that gray area, that this is from us, and then have them manufacture the devices, the OEM devices that will ship out with Xbox software automatically on each and every last one of them. So each one is spec'd out to how they want it, with their chipsets in it, with their OS on it, and getting it out the door with their controller. What really turns an Xbox into an Xbox? That damn controller. Yes or no? Right? Because what is it? I think Oh No It's Alex tells you that it's x86s and all of these things. So, and I don't know what that means, right? Let's be real. So I'm not a tweaker and twerker. I'm not them dudes. But at the same time, on the business financial side, I'm going to look at what they're saying and what they're doing and what makes sense and what really don't make sense. I'm reading the chat, so don't mind me. PlayStation console has a huge install base, but did you know only 2-3% buy games routinely? Yeah, of course. The majority play the same game, of course. You get Xbox that has a console out there with more sales. I think the Xbox consumer versus the PlayStation consumer is trained different. I think PlayStation, and y'all gotta let me know if the sound in the background is too loud. If y'all hear like because right now I think what is this? The Four Warriors will come after this. Oh, I don't know what that was. But y'all gotta let me know if the sound in the background is too loud because I got that going and I got that arcade machine going over there. Right now that's Gallagher. Um hmm. I think they're two different fundamental basis and how they are trained to purchase. Xbox guys, and when I say guys, I'm talking about guys and girls. All right, so don't get your all caught up in a bunch. I think the way Xbox is brought into it, the way the dashboard and everything is set up, it's set up for us to purchase in the way that the storefront is made. The PlayStation itself is PlayStation Plus is a layer that is there in the background. Their store is off to the side. It's not in your face. It's not intrusive. It's not telling you to come in and go do this. When you buy a PlayStation game, be it digital or be it physical, you're putting it in and you're doing that. That's what you're doing, right? And their environment is really like an isolated environment, where our environment is more about talking to people, looking at the storefront is in your face. Everything is there. Oh, this sale is going on. This was in your wish list. This was that. And it's more of a buy, go, go, go. Oh, the game that you like, it's on sale right now for $6. You got 3 days left. You're like, oh, snap. Okay, let me get that. So that's the mentality. That's why I feel that there's a different level of sales that's going on. Plus, more people are casuals when it comes to the PlayStation. Let's be real. A lot of people brought a PlayStation just to fit in. Oh, are you a gamer? Yeah, I got a PlayStation. Not playing a damn thing, watching Netflix or it's a cheap Blu-ray player. That's how these stuff get into our house. An Xbox person is a little bit more hardcore when it comes to video games. I don't mean to stereotype you. I'm not saying that there's not hardcore PlayStation dudes out there. Yes, there are hardcore dudes like Jay Barry. He's a hardcore PlayStation dude, but he has an Xbox. You understand? He's a gamer. So I think as a gamer, we control some of the base when it comes to they can always count on 20 million of us, right? Who are going to have every console. 20 million of us without fail. We're going to have an Xbox, we're going to have a PlayStation, we're going to have a Switch, we're going to have a Steam, we're going to have all of that. 20 million of us strong. I really feel that that's the number for all of us that will have that the both bases can count on us being there for that. But then there's casuals. Oh, you turned off? Hold on. I was running in the background too long. Give me a second. You know what? I'm gonna put on Super Nintendo. Oh, man. Yeah. Put on the Genesis. All right. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. David, I wouldn't be surprised that Microsoft acquired MSI, Asus. That's a high possibility. I've battered that conversation around in my head to see if that was a possibility. If they start to charge them too much, because you notice when Sarah Bond threw Asus under the bus, talking about they were in charge of the structuring of the prices of the consoles, the handhelds, and it was very easy for her to say, "Oh, okay, well, they were in charge of that." If they purchased them, then they'll be in charge of that, right? Listen, for a long time, we thought and we still think that they will go and purchase Steam. Could you imagine the biggest hustle in this world is the Steam machines come out? Because they're coming out next year. And remember, I said Xbox is launching hardware next year. Could you imagine the biggest hustle in the world is the Steam machines come out, and after they're in the wild, Gabe sells on November 15th, 2026. He sells Steam to Xbox or Microsoft. And on that day, by default, on the anniversary, you have a console that has an install base of X amount of millions or whoever, and that thing is shipped across the world. And then the Steam storefronts turn into, could you imagine what that looks like? Because listen, it's not far fetched, and I don't want y'all to think that it's far fetched. We're spitballing here, but I don't want y'all to think that that's far fetched, because the thought process is, and then I want you to think about it. Y'all always thought that Microsoft and Steam was cool. Y'all keep saying that Gabe needs to get out of the business. What is Gabe doing? Well, what if Gabe's out is Microsoft? He's not selling to the PlayStation. PlayStation doesn't have the bread for that. Right? So I'm going to get into, when I get to the WB stuff, y'all going to see what I end off on, and that is going to be a crazy ending. Let me see. Yeah. Percentage of games being purchased of between Microsoft and PlayStation. Xbox purchases percentage wise based on install base more games than PlayStation. It's just a fact. Yo, Belief was good, baby. Demigod. Make no mistake, Netflix will sell WB gaming division to the highest bidder in about 2 years, because they will not wait 8 years for games to be made at $200 million budget. So the Saudis will buy them. I don't know if the Saudis would buy them. Play where you want. Facts. PlayStation casual gamers play ball and gun games. Are you stupid? You know what my fear is, King? How would AI RAM boom affect next gen prices? RAM prices are insane right now. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. We base our opinions based on the now, not future proofing. And when I tell you hashtag no PlayStation 6, I'm not talking from a place of ignorance. I'm talking from a place of sound logic. It will behoove them not to put out a handheld machine that doesn't have a super robust architecture that costs them to manufacture more than $300, and then sell that thing for $600 and some change, right? $700 max. But with a RAM that you can put inside, and let's say they come out with some interchangeable RAM that you could put a tera in there, or 512 gigabytes inside, that is removable and stuff like that, right? In and out. And you're able to sell that device for $600-700, but it's as powerful or well, on par with the PlayStation 5 Pro, right? And with me saying this is with all the AI upscaling and all the other stuff that it's able to do, but on that little screen, good, but it's dockable. That where they can really fight the Switch, right? With more power, with it being portable and it's dockable. Without trying to sell you $1,000+ console, by default, I win. But the fact of the matter is, that's a high possibility based upon the reality that we're looking at right now. Because reality wise, y'all thought it was all crazy when PlayStation was removing internal RAM from the machines storage based upon them talking about them coming up short. Now, I don't believe that they remove RAM from the machines. What I believe is those 20 million machines that they had, that's the original amount of RAM that was in the original consoles that came out. And I just believe that they weren't sold. And I believe that they just repackaged them, sell it, not repackage, put a sticker on the box. What is it, 812, something like that, 820. I was calling them the 820 group or the 812 group, something like that. And for sale. That's why they're able to maintain what they're able to maintain, because those were never sold anyway. And if y'all remember the interview, and I always will go back to this, Phil said there's 25 million out there that hasn't been turned on. So again, that 25 million is in circulation to be sold right now. What's going on, boss? Let me see who we got. We got see Black Rider. Gabe is busy building ships. I believe that too. Animaniac's still gonna be around. Yo, you stupid. Well, Gabe does prefer Microsoft over PlayStation. He said he prefers the business and respects the business of the operating system of Microsoft because his mind is a PC mind wrapped around a storefront. Xbox, Microsoft is a PC mind wrapped around a storefront. This is the reason why he says, I don't need a contract with Microsoft. But let's get into this topic, all right? And we're going to approach it. Now, you're not going to see sliding screens today with me going over to the next menu and stuff like that, because I don't have it hooked up to that monitor, and I'm gonna have a 3-monitor setup. I do have my Rodecaster here, and I do have a couple of mics and stuff like that, but I'm mainly gonna make sure that I use my HyperX stuff and my Omen, because they're a huge sponsor, and I truly appreciate their products. Again, these headphones are probably soft, cushiony, fantastic. If I want to throw the mic on, I throw the mic on. Stuff works well. Do I got Fortnite money? I got Fortnite money. That's how long I haven't been up here. I got Fortnite money. I got to get in there and get my Fortnite money. All right, so let me get into this major twist that we have here, right? So hold on. All right, so this is brought to you by Kalash Culture. Kalashi Culture. All right, so he said a major twist in the Paramount Sundance is reporting launching a hostile takeover of Warner Brothers. By bypassing leadership to appeal directly to the shareholders, they aim to disrupt the pending Netflix deal, which has been agreed upon but not officially signed. Sundance argues that the all-cash offer is superior to Netflix. Meanwhile, Comcast, NBC Universal, has officially dropped out of the race. The source is CNBC and the New York Post. Now, that sounds like I'm mad as hell. I made a better deal, and this freaking idiot is going to come in here. They got something going on Nah, my deal is better. You should take my money. If it's your corporation and you said this is all based upon cash, this is all based upon the money that you need, and I outbid them, my money seems like it's better than what they're putting on the table. Why isn't my deal better than that? And they're going to the shareholders, telling the shareholders, man, look at this. I got a better deal. You can make more money. And they're choosing to take this deal based upon something else. And we need to know what that something else is. That is shrewdery. That is what you're supposed to do. When your bid isn't taken and you bid more, let me tell you something. When I got this house, and this is some inside baseball. When I got this house, there was another family that had an all cash bid. You would think that the person that was selling the house would take the all cash bid, right? Let me tell you something. My family is from the West Indies, right? And we're from St. Croix. And when I came to the house, I came with my daughters and my son, and we were looking at the house. My wife at the time, she was running a little bit late, and she was pulling. I told her take a Uber here. So I'm here. The previous owner of the house was here, like, in the area. And, she saw us and I introduced myself, and, she saw my kids. She's two girls and a boy, and she's seeing a father. And she goes, where you from? Oh, I told her, I said, oh, Moorheads, from St. Croix. That's my surname, like my family name, Moorheads. Now, outside of my father's name, which is Johnson, and stuff like that, we got disqualified for getting the place, right? And I need you to hear this. We got disqualified for for the place, and I got upset. And that happened on a Friday. They said that we lost the house. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go buy a car. I went out and brought a Chevy Suburban that Saturday. Just got up and went and got a car. And they hit me up that Monday and was like, "Yo, you back on?" I'm like, "What the hell you mean you back on?" It's like, "Nah, the owner of the house wants to sell it to you. Wants to sell it to me, but the dude is they were offering a full." And I saw the people. They offering a full cash bid. He's like, "She don't want that. She wants to sell it to you." And they wind up happening. And remember, that was all off of favoritism because of where my family lineage is from. Okay? That's why it's very important y'all know where y'all from and who y'all are. So when we got the place or whatever, I did the roof and I remodeled the basement. And she was at a cookout. The previous owner was at a cookout at my next door neighbor's house, like for the 4th or something. And I was like, "Yo, come over. And because the basement looked like something out of a horror film, right? It looked like literally Freddy Krueger's basement. And she came over and she started crying because I brought her through the basement. I put an egress door and brought her through the basement in, and she got a chance to see the red room and then the media area and the downstairs. And she started crying. She was like, "I knew you were the absolute one for this place. I knew it the moment I saw you." And that made me feel good, right? So I say this to say, and I don't know what dealings that, Netflix has and why they're selling. What up, Supreme? Supremacy, my guy. Yeah. Yo, I don't know what the deal is based off of. I don't know what the ramifications for the deal is, but we're going to talk about the ramifications for the deal. We're going to talk about the gaming aspects of it, and we're going to talk about exactly what truly happens. I do believe we're looking at the ABK deal all over again. But, and this is sent to me by my man, Big Fat Eli. All right. He always hits me up with what's going on when I'm moving and shaking in the street. He'll hit me with, yo, this is this and this is that. Yo, King, step on this. And I'm like, yo, for sure. I got you, man. All right. So listen, WB spokesman, and this is by Coldblue. The WB spokesman confirmed that the 9 WB game studios will join Netflix, including NetherRealm, Rocksteady, Avalanche, and TT Games. Now, how robust is Netflix gaming? How serious is Netflix gaming? Can they turn these studios that wants to put their games out, can they turn them into streaming only stuff? The way that Netflix wants to use transmedia, let's say the Mortal Kombat movie comes out, right? And they do the Mortal Kombat movie. The Mortal Kombat movies comes out, but it comes out on Netflix. And Netflix, if you just saw Frankenstein looks fantastic. But all right, so let's say now the movie comes out, but there's a part in the movie where you can click it and it says take over and control the fight. And you control the game from there. Now, this is something that I propose with Sony, but I'm going to get into that into a minute because I'm going to tell you how serious I think Netflix is. I always felt that Netflix was one of those secret players that will come up and swoop in. I know Google did not have the stomach for gaming. And the reason why I'm telling you Google doesn't have the stomach for gaming because the level of investment that you have to have inside video games is 10 times different than something of whatever Google tries to do, like with smart glasses. And if it ain't browser, if it ain't instant, if it's not happening right then, they don't care. They don't care. You saw how quickly Stadia popped up and went away, had great tech, didn't go anywhere. What about Netflix though? See, Amazon, I feel Amazon is wishy-washy when it comes to gaming. They closed down a lot of their gaming sectors. They're not bringing out any games. I think they're going to sell off the whole division. I think the Illumina stuff is a waste. But then you have Netflix with money to burn and a service that reaches millions upon millions. The same number Game Pass wishes they had, Netflix has it. Have an install base of individuals, casuals or hardcore, that can pick up a controller that can stream. Now, you have this app that is all across the world. What is stopping them from controlling data centers, putting up data centers all across the world, or partnering with somebody that has data centers all across the world, AWS, and adding gaming to the extent that it makes sense? They have data centers all across the world. Now, add to that gaming in those same structures with the fiber optics that they have, with the technology that they have, because right now, let's be real. How many Blu-rays are you buying right now? Unless you're a hardcore, I gotta have the physical, you're really watching your shows, right? And how many shows come out that's not on Blu-ray? Like 50 Cent's Reckoning, Sean John, The Reckoning. It's stuff like that that will never reach distribution on physical. They have a leg up. They have instant to customer. They have a leg up. That's exactly what Game Pass wants. So, if they start building their little army going forward, and a lot of y'all feel that they're going to sell, what if I told you something that will actually shock your world? What if I told you? What if I told you? And You said I believe Netflix would get blocked and it would get blocked from acquiring WB. They won't. Supremacy is going to go through. I can see Netflix adding cloud gaming to their service. I just hope they don't lock them into the cloud only. Imagine that. So what? So what? Netflix made you do away with buying CDs. So what if it's just cloud? Who cares? Netflix will never be a hardcore gamer's only option. It would be a plus. It's kind of like how Game Pass is, right? You can digitally download it to whatever. What device does Netflix have that they sell? They don't have any device. So it will only be cloud, but it will have to be the best cloud service in the world. It will have to be utmost the best cloud service in the world. Why do you think Xbox and Game Pass stepped up their streaming? You think that was because of NVIDIA? No, it's because of them. The oncoming onslaught is a bigger player. This could be that bigger player that they understood because listen, nothing is done in a vacuum, right? But I got something. I've always told you, going forward, PlayStation would run into trouble. And I know you're going to say, well, King, this is the part of where Xbox Frontline News starts to grow a brain and starts to see with his third eye and manifest stuff. I want you to understand a couple of things. One, I told you Crocs was the move and y'all didn't listen to me. Now look at y'all now looking to get some damn Xbox Crocs. I'm 98% right all the time. Relax. I told you that Xbox will put out hardware this year. Oh, I do have an Xbox ROG Ally X, and it's here, right? And I told you it was a handheld. Also told you the prices of all consoles before they launched. And I told you the final price of what the Pro would be. I told you the base price and the final price. Go back and look at my videos. Don't alter the videos. The videos is there. Once they're on YouTube, you cannot alter them. All right? So go back and check it. What if PlayStation runs into a huge problem based upon the fact that they aren't ready? You see how everybody wants to let you think that Xbox isn't ready for the next coming generation? They're ultimately ready. They've been pushing you to streaming for a long time. They are actively looking for ways to get Game Pass to you with no money. Oh yeah, you want the ultimate tier? Good. The ultimate tier is $30. That's day and date, and boom, you got that with cloud streaming and all that stuff in there. They're going to have a cloud streaming only option that's going to be like freaking $6. That's going to come. Let me see. That's whack. I think Netflix buying WB for the movie rights. Nope. I have suede Crocs for the garden. Does that count? Yes, sir. It does count. People were saying years ago Disney would overcome Netflix. Nope. Listen. Netflix got in when they were supposed to. Netflix business model, Netflix and chill, once Netflix and chill became a thing and you made that into a sexual innuendo, you want to come watch on Netflix? Once you became a word that is synonymous with adjective that you like, anyway, I think Netflix is the only one that makes sense when it came to this. I had said it before. To take Netflix seriously, Sony needs to be in a dire straight situation and sell. Here's what I mean. What if Netflix buys Sony? And I'm not talking about Sony the whole. Like, yo, listen, Sony makes a ton of money, right? Sony makes a ton of money. And everybody really sits there and be like, your PlayStation is the driving force over at Sony. No, stupid. The driving force over at Sony is insurance policies. Look at the money. But I wouldn't expect people to understand that or know that. They make tons of money off of insurance policies. That's where the bulk of their money from. And then the second amount of their money come from movie lenses and stuff. Yo, if you noticed, if you went to the movie in this month alone, Sony has put out, I don't know, like 7 to 8 movies. I've seen 4 movies this month that had Sony did them. All right, I just letting you know that. So they're making money hand over fist with that. They're making money hand over fist with insurances. What if they sell a large percentage of the PlayStation brand to Netflix? Right? Let's say they sell 80%, keep 20%, right? And pushes Netflix over the top when it comes to gaming. They instantly have automatic streaming to each and every last person immediately. All their movies and their catalogs and stuff like that. Could you imagine what that beast and that monster turns into? It turns into a juggernaut that can't be stopped because they actually will have a physical device out in the world they can actually sell to people. But then when it comes to streaming every and anywhere, those portals that are $200, could you imagine having such a robust network that your portal is a streaming device that is not beholden to a console that is in the street, that you don't need a console. All you need is your Netflix login and add-on. Could you imagine what that turns into? That's what I was telling people before. When I said, oh, they'll become an app, they'll be, yeah, I got this, that, and the third. I'm not saying they're going anywhere. I'm just saying what they're going to turn into, because none of y'all thought that Xbox would be exactly what they are, but I told y'all that they were going to be what they turned out to be. An unstoppable, complete juggernaut that is putting out hits after hits, month after month, that is running the news cycle. I see the potential in every console. I see the potential in every manufacturer. Now, I don't know what Nintendo. That's the only, like, I swear, if you try to get me to quantify where I see them going, I know that they're going to go completely digital. But what does that mean for them? Not like I'm really super invested in what happens with Nintendo. If y'all seen, I was super on getting Metroid until I found out that they locked the driving music behind an amiibo that is $30. So on top of the $70 to $80 for Metroid, I got to pay $30 to find this very rare